Hello, and welcome back to Homestuck Squared. We got a new chapter today. Welcome Max, welcome Aleph, welcome Carencio, welcome reread Cursive, and welcome anyone viewing anonymously. Whew! Let's get this off the screen. Alright. Hello. Welcome. It has been some time since there has been Homestuck Squared. I turned my mic on, right? Yeah, I did. Just like a split second, I was like, wait a second. Did I turn my mic on? I did. I do believe I am not talking to myself. Yes, hello, Max. Confirmation that I am not talking to myself at the moment. Good. Okay. See, a whole lot of S and K in your spam from Twitch. See, my brain sees S and K and immediately thinks Shingeki no Kyojin, even though I never have and never will be interested in Attack on Titan. I know that SNK also stands for a few other things, but I don't remember what they are because I have internet brainworms. Super Nario Brothers, SNK Play More. Right, SNK was that video game company that did Final Fight, and it was Terry What's-His-Face who ended up in Smash. I know things about video games. I think that was the other thing I was thinking of, and I feel like there's one other thing. Like some shitty corporation in the States or something is also SNK. Fatal Fury, not Fatal Fight. King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, Metal Slug, Athena and Psycho Soldier. Terry Bogard. Yeah. I am recognizing the names of these games. Okay. Yes. Who did Final Fight then? Anyway, that's an aside. Final Fight can just sit over there. Okay. So before we get to the chapter, there's some Homestuck community news that Final Fight is Capcom. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Max. Part of the larger... Oh, it's part of Street Fighter. I see. I feel like I've played that one at one point, but I've never been a very big fighting game person. Mostly just played it with, like, at parties or whatever. There is community news, which I decided to leave for today instead of doing it on Wednesday, because this is a Homestuck stream. I'm going to start off with this. Unofficial MSPA fans just released another album called Friend Symphony, based around, of course, the Friend Sim Trolls and MSPA Reader. There's a track for Doc Scratch in there, too. It's good shit. It's 47 fucking tracks. So, if you are a fan of their projects, check that out. Whoops. There we go. Check that out. I gave it a listen. Some good shit on there. Hell yeah. And once we finish the Act 2 soundtrack, then I'll be playing Friend Symphony for the pre-stream music and like break music and stuff. Moving along. So, The Curious Cat. An interesting tidbit. I don't mean this rudely whatsoever, but does Andrew Hussey ever plan to work independently on a new project unrelated to Homestuck? Back in the day, he said that Homestuck was only the beginning for him, that it would pave the way for something else, and I know I'm not the only one who really misses his work. And the reply, we asked a question to Andrew, and here's a direct quote from him. There was an old question I answered one time that suggested Homestuck was a warm-up for something else, if I wanted it to be. I noticed this answer is referenced occasionally, and is sometimes cited as an example of how certain statements I make are misleading or cannot be taken at face value. I have to admit, there's some truth to these interpretations. Many of my remarks should be taken with a grain of salt on account of my tendency for understatement. During the entire run of Homestuck, I would estimate that I was creatively operating at approximately 1% of my maximum power level. Since then, I haven't been doing much, except functioning in a loosely supervisory capacity on certain projects. But during the pandemic, I found myself with a bit of extra time on my hands. So I hit the hypergravity chamber for a while, and now the scouters have me clocking in at about 5%. I'll remain at this power level for a while and see what happens. But I can't promise I will try to exceed this mark anytime soon, or ever, because that would start getting dangerous for everyone. Yes, I may have been just a bit deceptive once or twice. Yeah. So, this is ominous and hints that, you know, he has been putting some effort into projects outside of Homestuck that we may or may not see at some point in the future. So it's still very vague, but it's more recent confirmation than we've had about anything like that. Basically since he posted that thing on fucking Formspring. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, you know, when, if he decides to, share whatever that particular project is with us at some point in the future. And finally, this is not something we're going to be talking about right now. This is going to be the second half of stream today because there's a lot to kind of chill with. Discord messages from Andrew Hussey. I will just read the introduction now, but best read on bigger screens, of course. They did a really good job coding this little Discord like thingy. It looks really cool. These Discord messages were originally part of a paper zine entitled Discord Messages I Have Received from Andrew Hussey by Gamblington 8, Kate Metchell, sent between July and September 2019. Always meant to be read by fans, these are now available to an international and diverse public for their perusal. Enjoy Andrew Hussey's musings on canonicity, fan communication, Homestuck, and Airbud. So, yeah, this was a zine project that was put together by Kate kind of through the Perfectly Generic podcast, where I can't remember, were they just left in a bookstore, or like someone left in a physical location, somewhere like mailed out, and you could like sign up to be on the essentially enter a lottery that if your name was pulled, you'd be asked for your mailing address, and then that would be sent, it would be mailed to you next, kind of thing. So yeah, it's been over a year since these are actually in circulation, and now the text body of them has been posted to the web. So I did give this a read. It's interesting, and I think there's a lot of discussion, of productive discussion that can come from it. I emphasize productive. I really don't want this to turn into a bunch of discourse. So, this will be the second half of the stream today, since the Homestuck Squared chapters usually don't take up a full stream, and this one in particular, this is another short one that's not, it's not very substance heavy. So, discourse from Discord, unthinkable. Yeah, I know, I hate, it's so silly how, like, the word discourse has, like, its meaning in internet culture has, like, morphed from its original, like, originally discourse was just, or it is, like, the actual dictionary definition is just, like, you know, discussions about a topic, but online culture is just like, ugh, discourse is always, you know, the unproductive and negative side of internet discussions. I find etymology interesting. Okay. You forgot to look up possible ideas of what else you could look at today if it's short. Next update, but this time I did have a grand plan for after the chapter. But speaking of the chapter, chapter 15. Okay, so there's this flower. And we start with this, what had initially confused me, but what I later learned was a Futurama reference. I didn't really grow up watching Futurama. I haven't watched a whole lot of it. It was one of those shows that was like on, but my parents were like, you're not allowed to watch that. That's not appropriate for you. And I was like, that's not fair. My friends get to watch it. Whatever. Anyway. Why Futurama? Futurama time travel? I don't know. It could have something to do. I saw a couple of people saying that they felt like it was connected to just like the general vibes of this chapter, because this chapter is very how do I describe it? Not a lot really happens. Weird direct reference. Silly slice of life. Also good descriptors for it. Weird. I don't know. Maybe, some of the team members are like really big fans. Oh, is this? Yes, we have the theme song, which I'm gonna pause now so I don't get a copyright strike. But yes, yeah, the big red text with the yellow outline for the opening there. Yes, and now Demi bi-monthly. This also confused me because what? It's now monthly. Period. Is this like also a reference that I'm not understanding that has to do with the show? Welcome, Biangle Gaming. That's the joke that Demi and Bi cancel each other out. It's just monthly in a clever disguise. No one will suspect a thing. Okay. Alright. Fair enough. Futurama always has a goofy tagline like that at the opening. I see. Yeah. Yes, and we've got their ship in the background here, so we know exactly which universe we're going into. We are back in Meat Universe, which was, a lot of people were predicting, myself included, for this one that we would go back to Meat because it had been a while since we'd seen the Meat folks. And we are on not the Theseus. We're not with Rosendark. We're with these fuckers. Did they name their ship? I don't remember if they named their ship. I don't think they did. Oh, the Metal Gear movie? What's his face who was in the new Star Wars got cast as Solid Snake? I don't remember his name because I don't really have much investment in Star Wars, but I'm very happy for him. Sounds like a Futurama type joke now that everyone points it out. It's not even centered. Oh, yeah, it's also like just slightly to the left. They stuck now in front of a centered subtitle. Oh, you're right. The actual the center part actually is this word actually is centered, but the rest they just kind of like smacked this on the end. Unnamed green space sailboat. You should name it the Planet Express. Okay. So we enter to Roxy, my love, my dear. You are all probably hells of wondering why I gathered you all here today. I am literally the only person here, but okay, I guess. Unless you count Jade, who we obviously aren't, seeing as how she is 25 nautical feet away and not even trying to pay attention to us. Just reading a book about maybe mushrooms or something that could be seen as could be seen by some as magical and whimsical, but also somehow scientific. Glad to have you back, dog. Literal. Whatever happened there? Do we know what happened there? Uwoos. Alright, you got it. Coming up on the next lines. Yeah, so Jade is just kind of like chilling there through that chapter. They just kind of decided to skip the part where she has a heartfelt reunion with the rest of the group, I guess. So, I mean, that's interesting given that, so what seems to be happening with Meat and Candy is that and a lot of people are predicting the reason is Vriska, of course, is that Meat seems to be a lot more candy-ish and Candy seems to be a lot more meat-ish, within the context of Homestuck Squared. So I find it interesting through that lens and just like in general that they completely skipped the mushy reunion. Also, please give me more. Please stop. Jade. Jade. And I love her. Sure does seem to be happening. Oh, really? Eyes emoji almost like they could be converging. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Yeah, I think most of the times that I've read anything about this sort of theory, the answer that has been given as to why is because Vriska fell through the black hole and is now in Candy Universe doing her relevance bullshit. You're just going to ignore that Jade had important information about canon at the end of the epilogues. I'm just going to sidestep the whole Jade's back after literally 3 years. Wait, where are you getting 3? Right, they've been on this journey. Have they been on this journey for 3 years? Dodges bricks. Yeah. That tracks, yeah. What pumpkin root? Yes. Yes. The third option to Meat and Candy being either vegetables or pumpkin is also another popular theory. It's always 3 years. Every Homestuck trip takes 3 years. That is true. But it's kind of... it's been so long since we read the beginning of this. I don't even remember if they said exactly how long they've been on this ship at this point. But yeah, like after, any length of time, really, with her being fucking possessed, like, would be kind of a big deal for her to come back from that. Brown bread. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Jade is here, and they just kind of, like, unceremoniously dump that information in the middle of a Dave rant. You forget why it was the go-to. Good, I guess, because it's orange and green. I mean, pumpkin is the go-to, really, just because of the what pumpkin joke, I think. Because I know, yes. I won't forget the uwus, I promise. I will give you your uwus. Yeah, I think because of the what pumpkin joke, and also because before jumping to, like, pumpkin specifically, it was like, well, meat and candy, what's in between that? Or, like, what's the healthier alternative or whatever? Well, vegetables. And I guess, pumpkin fits in there. Important thing is Jay's going to spill the beans on important meta stuff, and we're going to ignore that, I guess. If they didn't read that... Hey. They did read the epilogues. A couple of the people working on this wrote the fucking epilogues. Just about to scream, for God's sake, you're distracting us from the uwus. Yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah, they're biding their time on the information that Jade has, or maybe they've just decided not to show it. Maybe it's the whole meat candy flip thing. They're focusing on the emotional stuff here. But yes, we have these two. Dave. Do we want to know what happened, though? Dave. Feel like it should be an important part of our daily lives. You get possessed by the embodiment. Whoops. Hit the space bar there. Hello? Okay, I'm gonna take my hands off of the keyboard. Feels like it should be an important part of our daily lives. I mean, I get it. You get possessed by the embodiment of space or whatever, and then and then you threaten to eat some chocolate or peanut butter, or perhaps some abominable combination of the two, and now you're back in control. Not that... No, that makes perfect sense. The boldness of peanut butter, the fresh taste of chocolate, together at last? Dave! Mid-rant Dave, followed by this. I'm a little on the fence as to whether or not I feel like this particular move is something that Dave would actually do, but it is fucking funny. Oh, sweet and also pulp with like candy meat combined. Quid pro musk. Did Jade explain it to them or not? Because he knows about the peanut butter. Yeah, that's kind of up in the air. I mean, I guess, like, Jade must have explained some part of it, right? Like, you know, explained the way that she became unpossessed. But she probably left out some of the details of the particular conversation. That's my guess. That's me. And then we get the sprites. And here's Jade all the way over here. I called you here to discuss a very important matter of extreme delicacy and privacy. I feel like I have to stress once again. Jade is just right there. Yep, there she is. I very much appreciate that the earphones are like actually on the fucking ears. Although if they did just draw earphones the spots for human ears, I also wouldn't really question it, because like maybe she just had both, but I guess the implication is that she just has dog ears now. Or maybe not. Maybe she's got the headphones up top and the human ears are what's hearing Dave. I don't know. Infamous panel. Yeah, this is one of the few panels that got passed around a lot because the anatomy is a little funky. This one and a couple others got a lot of panel redraws. Original Jade, who's totally behind this stack of boxes, says I won the contest. Did the contouring remove her human ears? I mean, like, that's what I'm saying is, like, a distinct possibility. We are more interested in epilogues addressing the ear problem than the personal anatomy problem. Yes, does Jade still have human ears? This is a crucial question that we need to know. Don't mind this panel, but everything, you know, Homestuck used to be creative with art. I mean, it still is. First of all, it still is. Second of all, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think people were just kind of a little jarred by the sudden and very distinctive shift in style. Which it kind of caught me as well, I will admit. Yeah, like it didn't always use the same styles, which Homestuck Squared has been doing. Yeah, I guess they did kind of play around with style more, but I guess, I mean, I can see why they've decided to go with a generally more consistent art style. Just because, like, I mean, as we've learned, as we're going through the Homestuck reread, right, and we're going through all the author notes, a lot of the times when Homestuck veered in, like, weird directions, Hussey was just, like, on-the-fly experimenting, and I don't think they're really doing as much of that with the art for Squared. It's a lot more formally organized, I guess, of a project than Hussey's, like, absolutely breakneck pace with the original comic. Yeah, there's also a non-Euclidean table in an upcoming panel, which I think is fantastic. But we'll get to that. We'll get there. Ooh, Jade the Planet reveal. Oh, that's a really beautiful flash. Okay. Not gonna come over here, huh? No, it's cool. Don't get up. I know Jake's shitty furniture pile was the most comfortable seat in the house. Wouldn't want to interrupt whatever important mushroom business you've got going on. Say hi to Shiitake for me. That's the only mushroom I know. This bit's falling apart fast. Back me up. The toadstools? That's what I like to hear anyway. Wow, just like in my video games. Only I wouldn't be caught dead playing... that baby shit. I'm a serious gamer who demands a serious and ancillary video game guy. What? Only the most grizzled and well-hearted men doing only the most upsettingly ludicrous maneuvers can whet my disowning appetite. Dave, my guy, gotta stay on task. Yeah, Woxy, get it together. I've got just about enough of your tangents. Have some pride, man. LMAO. Oh, okay, you got me. Anyway, we need to talk about ship etiquette. Metal Gear. Yes, that it's a description that would fit the Metal Gear games. It's it's literally updated daily with few exceptions. I'm dying, Squirtle. Oh yeah, the update pace the first few years was like, holy shit. I mean, it's got piles of piles. Yeah, apparently Jake collects piles of things, much like a troll would. Grand snack, fuck yeah, is what I assumed he meant. Wait, where? Is that a Bug Snacks reference? A lot of people have been talking about Bug Snacks, which I have not played. Much like his hoarder pre-scratch self would. Oops. Yeah. It's... Oh, is that like... Was that the name of that skateboarding game you played in, like, fucking Act 1 or whatever? Not Act 1. We didn't get to Dave's introduction in Act 1. Act, like, 2? 2? 3? Ah, fuck it. The acts all meld together. Yeah, if you can find me a source where exactly that is stated. Because I have no idea where you're referring to, if that was, like, a Paradox Space comic or what. Karaoke Bonito's Bug Snack song. Yes, I haven't heard much good about that. Oh, it's on the Game Bro cover from March. Oh, okay. I'll buy that. Okay. Ah, yes. Here's the non-Euclidean table. I'd like to give an anonymous shout out to the person on Discord who named it as a non-Euclidean table, because I would not know that term if they hadn't pointed it out. Don't think the game itself is named, but that would fit the description of a game about cool bros riding skateboards and eating Doritos and collisions. I see. So you made up the name. So I'm not missing it. So I'm not missing anything here. Hello, welcome Jade. Welcome. Good to see ya. We are analyzing some art. You're not even paying attention to how bad the TV looks. You're so overwhelmed by the table. It's Grandpa's fucked up bed all over again. Oh my god. You're so fucking right. God. That poor fucking grandpa in Stardew Valley. You just connected the name from the Game Bro cover to the game Dave plays. The TV. Yeah, there's a few things happening in this panel. Yeah, it's just, I think what is kind of put people off about this art style, which I can kind of relate to, is like the pixels and the lines are so chunky, and it's a lot of very flat colors with little variation or shadow. Specifically for like the hand-drawn furniture, like the bed, the couch. The couch looks okay, you know. You love it, but it just doesn't match anything else in the panel. There's a photo of a couch, one is hand-drawn TV, and one is made literally in MS Paint. Why? Yeah. Suddenly see what's wrong with the table. The corners don't align. No, they don't. That's, it's, you know what? I don't think I could explain this concept myself, but I'm going to Google non-Euclidean shape. Because, like, I know what it means, but I don't know it well enough to explain it. Okay, according to Google, a non-Euclidean geometry is a rethinking and redescription of the properties of things like points, lines, and other shapes in a non-flat world. Spherical geometry, which is sort of plane geometry warped on the surface of a sphere, is one example of non-Euclidean geometry. That actually made me more confused. But basically, they did the corners don't line up. The geometry doesn't make sense physically. Thank you. That's a much better explanation than whatever Google just tried to tell me. It's a good month for fans of the MS Paint line tool. Yeah. It's a hard word though, yeah. Yeah, but like, yeah, that is a good summation. It means it's geometry that doesn't actually make sense physically, which, yeah, these corners are not lining up properly. So it's like, how the fuck would this table actually work? I do like, though, once again, anonymous, shout out, kudos to person on Discord server who was immediately like, it's Jade's space powers. Jade is using her space powers to make non-Euclidean furniture, which I love. I love that concept so very much. But, yeah, this table doesn't make sense. The TV is, like, the line work is there. It's just that the shading doesn't bring it home for me. Classic picture of a fork that has two prongs near the split, but near the tip it's somehow three prongs. And Escher, yeah. Yes, MC Escher. The Infinite Stairs. But yeah. So that's, yeah. This is an interesting one. Okay. Continue on with the, plot, if you can call it that. The Infinite Staircase, yeah. Of course I'm familiar with the Infinite Staircase as a storied Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff fan. God, I'm greatly exaggerating my enjoyment of Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff with that statement. Continuing on with the stand-up comedy bit, yeah, it does kind of come off like that, like a stand-up bit, like a vaguely sitcom-y. Yeah, this one is a little weird. He's literally standing on the table. Just gonna out and say it, huh? And you know what? It's about damn time. The absolute disrespect I get around here just for living my truest life, spitting only these hard truths, practically a bard saying hard sooths. This is unfair, because you know I usually love your little raps. Little raps, he says. I know you're just trying to distract me from the heinous display of aggression you just dumped on me. Ship etiquette, like I don't know what you're trying to say to me. What kind of hapless rube do you take me for? TBH, that makes this all kinds of easier. Look, we both know you don't need to be gay to see that Sasuke and Naruto love each other, and that's stone cold facts. Oh my goodness. Oh yes, the thing. I don't remember what it's called. What's his face's order from Grand Theft Auto 5 or whatever? I'm not overly familiar with Grand Theft Auto. But I do know that's where that's from. Okay, I'm gonna have some water before doing that. Big Smoke from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Okay. I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda. Ta-da! Born out of this. Oh yes, I think I saw the original video like once. And oh, right, Caliborn goes to Starbucks. Our classic. Yeah. Why is the table not in front of the couch? I don't know, maybe they don't fucking want it to be. Sorry, I feel like that came across as a little more aggressive than I intended. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess traditionally a coffee table like that would be more aligned with the couch, but I don't personally have a big issue with it being a little off to the side. Guess it's just a standing table. Yeah, exactly. It is not actually a table. It is a pedestal. It was in the way of the TV. That is true as well. It could just have been in the way. Discord user who the original audio just chimes in with Big Smoke's orders represented by Terzi. Yeah. Soapbox! That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. As I was reading it out, I was like, oh, but you just can't beat that original audio. That guy's fucking voice in the audio clip. Oh. Standing table would not support the weight of a person standing on it when shown in the first page we see. Yeah. Oh yeah, the construction of this table would not really support a person. I feel like it should be buckling in the middle, but also we don't know what the fuck it's made out of because they made everything with alchemy. Or maybe the extra thick pixel lines are the extra support it needs to not buckle. It's like paper thin when you first see it. Yeah, what does it look like in... Hello? There we go. Right. This stylized panel. And then you can see that these lines... Okay, so here's the... This fucking... We spent so long just talking about this fucking table. Oh, stretch. Yes, I am going to straighten my back and reach up. Thank you for the reminder. Fixels. Fuck. Here to make valuable contributions tonight. That was incredibly valuable, and I fucking love that. Thank you, Currencio. Table really thieved the light this chapter. Briska, yeah. But I'm just noticing now that in this particular panel, yeah, it is a little more in front of the couch. It's also lower to the ground. It's also depicted as a lot thinner. And these two green lines are depicted as being on the side panel of the table. Whereas this, it's like the way that they intended to draw it, I guess, was with one on the top, on the tabletop, and one on the side panel. Or, you know, they could have intended it to be like this end, but they did the... I don't... There's just a lot happening with this table right now. Side note, what the fuck is this, like, on the table? This food? That, like, over here, it's just kind of like nondescript shapes. I'm guessing popcorn, but why is there green in it? Maybe that's just shadows and I'm a dumbass. But I'm interested in that particular color choice. Chips, popcorn, teeth. Oh my god, there's a bowl of fucking teeth on the table. God. Ugh. Okay. You're either chips with dip or maybe one of them like gross popcorn. Definitely shadows. Your mind leads me very on whether the shading and coloring is done well enough to portray it. Yeah, it kind of like, yeah, I guess like I can kind of tell that the intention was there, but it kind of made me double take a little bit. So Dave is going off and starts talking about fucking Naruto, because apparently they've decided to watch Naruto on the ship. Okay. This is like a really dumbass nitpick, but every time I look at Dave's pants, his legs look flat because they didn't curve the lines on the on the pants. But that's a really stupid nitpick because I know that is actually a very common stylistic choice to like put line work on top of flat patterns, especially in manga. Okay. I'm just going to scroll down far enough that we can't really see the panel anymore. So you just stop talking about the art and read the words. Maybe it is a manga and we just don't realize it yet. Yeah, the art style slowly warps over the course of the comic until... I mean, like... Homestuck got its anime ending. Maybe Squared will slowly morph into anime as well. Okay. Speaking of anime, they're talking about fucking Naruto and Sasuke. Well, we both know you need to be gay. You don't need to be gay to see that Sasuke and Naruto love each other. That's just stone cold facts. You can't bait me like this. I know you know. I can't resist talking about which anime boys kiss which anime boys. TM. But that's not the kind of ship I'm talking about. It's actually a little incredible you jumped there, considering we live on a spaceship. But if this is how I need to frame this with you, then yes, sure, a certain ship has gotten out of hand. I have no idea what you're talking about. And then we find out that... So, I also seen some folks pointing out that, like, it didn't seem like there was enough room in the first panel for this to have been, like, happening. But also, we don't really see the other side of the room, and we don't really get a sense of how big the rest of the room is in the original panel. We do see the other side? Where? No, I don't want to click on that one. I want to be on this one. Oh, fuck. What chapter was that? Okay, it was not 14. It was not the funeral. Oh, it was this one. Right, okay. So they're sitting around. They're sitting around. I fucking love this little car cafe. Okay. Just, yeah. See, like, I just remembered seeing this, right? Oh, here it is. That's more than a small hair. Lime girl, welcome. Whoops, indeed. Oopsies, indeed. Yeah, sorry, I was totally not. I should have been looking at the chat when I was trying to find that page. Fake right side of Caliborn's room. Dave wasn't wearing slippers and those were shoes the whole time? What? No, they're slippers. You can see the bottom of his little feet. Lalanda's in the vent. Yeah, okay. So they have just a broom and a basket and a vent here. But then in this panel, they've got like, it's a full other set of shelves. That it looks like they just took the background from here and mirrored it and like took out the towel. And then there's like 2 other machines over here. That's like a, They like, they put the wall here. They added a whole like 4 to 5 feet worth of wall too. A room can be as big as it wants to be when nothing makes sense. Non-Euclidean room. Oh, fuck. You can see where the towel used to be on the left? Oh my god, you can. Oh no. Oh, and you can see the light. You can see the light of where the spotlight is on the other side too. Oh dear. Oh dear. Took a and mirrored it. Jimmy with Trevor. This is a little tragic, because that's not. I've done edits of this kind of stuff before, and that's not a hard thing to fix. Ooh. Now you see it too. Yeah, I hadn't looked this closely until now, and now I'm like, ah, shit. But like, as it's like, it just sucks so much, because otherwise I think this is fucking hilarious. I laughed out loud when they showed when I got to this panel the first time. Like, god, yeah. Like, I fucking. This is like, I saw someone compared to like them saying that like Homestuck has done the like something else happening quote unquote behind the camera type of thing before, but not on very many occasions. And one of the most notable ones would be also involving Roxy when Jake was kissing Dirk's head. Not a crime in itself. Homestuck loves to reuse panels and did it well. Yeah. Like, it's not the end of the world. But just like that one extra step to like fully immerse. That's the word I'm looking for. Be fully immersive, right? This is true. Sir Jasper's Siri play for Jasper. Got a better case of circle hands. Well, I think I saw some folks complaining about the circle hands. I didn't personally mind the circle hands. It's just a stylistic choice, which I mean, I don't think it looks out of place in Homestuck, where in a comic where the simplified sprites don't even have fucking arms. I guess it looks like a little bit of an odd contrast when it's in the exact same panel as the Dave Cat kiss that's happening over here, where you can clearly see Karkat's hands and fingers. But even then, I don't know. I think that's okay. Karkat's hands, yeah. Most of the reused panel templates are very goofy. On its own, it would be less egregious. I mean, like, I don't know. I guess I don't mind it so much here because I feel like it does make some stylistic sense that with her being, like, in the shadow, having less visible details because she's in the shadow, or because he's in the shadow, I feel like that kind of passes for me. The only thing this could possibly mean is that the artist didn't look at chapter 12, because you can't think of another explanation, which is probably bad. I mean, they had to have looked at chapter 12 in order to, like, get the image that they, like, it's pretty clear that they just extended off the edge of the Dave Cat, like, kiss image. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't think we saw the other side of the room. I forgot about that fucking panel, so I guess if they just needed to get the art done, then they might have, slipped their mind to double check something like that. Solved X squared. He got it from Twitter. God. They can't have gotten it from Twitter, because Twitter fucking destroys image quality. These pixels are too sharp. Solved it. Roxy used void powers to protect the image of a fake wall. Yeah, Roxy just, I'm not here. Oh my. Okay. You know what? I think you do. I'm getting sick and tired of Dave Cat. First of all, amazing that you named my relationship. Second of all, if I understand ship name vernacular, which of course I fucking do, pretty bold of you to assume I'm proverbially on top in this scenario. I actually don't want to hear about this. Nope, not too late, partner. You open the door. I'm just moseying on through. Yippee-ki-yay. No, yippee-ki-gay? This sucks. Why are you like this? My brain's fried on account of I just love to do homo kisses so much. Can't contain myself. Oh boy. The order of ship names? Yeah, that's not something that I've ever heard before. Okay, wait. Roxy's shades get really small in that panel. Yeah, that as well. I don't know. That's not as much of a nitpick for me. You unironically love that theory? Yeah, it is good. It is a good one. Now what's this nonsense? You finished the epilogues? Oh my god, are you not finished the epilogues? This is a... Yeah, this one's neat. This one's pretty chill. Ancient vernacular. To read me 636 like a responsible NB. What the right time for ancient vernacular? So about the right time for when Dave grew up. Shift name order is an important thing in slash shipping communities regarding... Yeah, I don't know if you should finish... Yeah, regarding, like, who's on top or bottom in, like, sexual scenarios. Yeah, I didn't really get into, like, those sorts of shippy fandom-y spaces until, 2011, like, late 2011, like, basically when I got into Homestuck. So, that sort of stuff, and, like, lemon lime vernacular was not in my internet time. But yeah, I was not aware that that used to be like a thing with ship names. I just thought that, you know, people kind of went with the one that like rolled off the tongue the easiest, or the one that was the most stupid fucking convoluted reference to the relationship. I really enjoy those ones though. like calling John Cat communism, or calling like John Dave Pepsi Cola, or like silly things like that. Oh, which one is Hammer Time? I don't remember which one Hammer Time is. No, wait, that is John Dave. Yeah. Hammer Time. Yeah. I like it when they're very silly. There were huge lists of every ship name imaginable for Homestuck. Oh, yeah. You got very creative. Yes, hydrate. I shall do that. Breathalyzer. Roxygen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cute shit like that. I'm really glad that even though general ship name conventions have basically turned back to just like either saying both characters' names or like a portmanteau of both of their names, Rosemary has kind of like played the long game. I mean, I guess Rosemary still is technically just like a portmanteau, but it's also a plant. And I like that. Breathalyzer. Oh, right. Breathalyzer because of breath and drinking. Oof. Remember that Roxy was drink? Yeah, no, I remember. I'm glad that no one uses breathalyzer now, actually. Because that's... let him move on with his life. Okay. Cool. I got distracted. What the fuck was I just reading? Right. So the ship name stuff, which kind of made me raise an eyebrow. Oh god, that's right. That's this page. Okay. LMAO, this bit won't work on me anymore. We get it. Hashtag love wins. You're both very cute and love each other very much. I just want to do my laundry without Potential walking in on two of my BFFs going whole ass ham on top of some socks every single time. Wow, and you're usually so supportive. I can't believe it. My own flesh and blood. My own brother/father. Homophobic. Well, actually. Oh, yikes, Dirk, LMAO. Yeah. I mean, I don't actually think that he LMAO. No. Like in a real way. No, def not. He's just an asshole. Yeah. Right? You literally don't get this part at all? Yeah, I didn't really grab at what they were trying to get at first either. I think from conversations that I had read and participated in, it is intended to be some sort of jab at like Dirk experiencing internalized homophobia and like toxic masculinity or something. They were retconning Dirk to be homophobic. I mean, like, bad guy, so he has to be. Yeah, like, I'm not so sure about this one either. I mean, like, I know that it's been almost like a fandom joke in some communities for a while, that like fitting into like the general joke outside of the Homestuck fandom of like being like a homophobic gay, which like I don't really understand the humor in that, but I know that was the thing that people joked about with regards to Dirk for a bit. But yeah, I definitely get that vibe though of internal homophobia. Yeah, like it's not entirely unprecedented for his character, for sure. But the way that they threw this in here, I also found it kind of, I was not really sure what they were trying to do. Also, just like the whole, like, I am so sick of, I'm getting sick and tired of Dave Cat, and like that sort of thing. It's like, there are a bunch of people who are like, okay, so was this all supposed to be meta commentary or what? Like, just fucking write the comic. Because like some I lost my train of thought. Fuck. Some folks actually are getting sick of Dave Cat and would like to focus on other things now. And I feel like that's fair. Because we've had a couple of updates that either directly or indirectly involved discussions of the Dave Cat. Bro was born in the 80s on Earth. Wouldn't be surprised if all this Muppet stuff was ironic or joking about you guys are like internalized homophobia. Yeah, I mean for Bro in particular, that's yeah. No, being sick of Dave Cat isn't homophobic. That's not the point. It's like, I think where it's coming from is a lot of the way that he talks about, like, Dave Cat, for example, in, like, the Epilogues narrative text, it can at points, it comes across as, like, I don't know, uncomfortable, or like he's trying to be supportive, but it's just like not really, I don't know. It's just the way that he talks about them during the epilogues sometimes is really weird. And I think that, again, I think it is like really the epilogues as where a lot of that interpretation is coming from. Just the urge of people to put all bad attributes on a character they deem the bad guy. For some, I'm sure it's somewhat connected to that as well. But yeah, this interpretation, like, I think it does come a lot from, like, Epilogues text, as well as, I had another thing I was gonna say. What the fuck? As well as I think it was egged on by that kind of trend that I mentioned earlier of, like, people joking about, like, X character is a homophobic gay or whatever, which, again, I don't understand the humor of that. But anyway, so that's what's up with this whole whatever is happening here. There's everybody's favorite non-Euclidean table. Now, you know I like to deflect as much as the next person, but I've had mad substantial character development in the last few minutes, so maybe I'm willing to entertain the notion that I may be in the wrong here. Oh, damn, for real? No, I've never been wrong in my entire life, but if it's important to you, I can rein it in. Practically a saint, even though the only religions that existed on the new earth we made was fucked up clown Catholicism and 69 troll Jesus. Can't really call the Pope and ask to be sainted like back on real earth. Could you really? Yeah, that's how it worked. I don't believe you, but I don't know enough about religion to argue. Yeah, this was another section that generated some discussion about Homestuck and its relationship with and representations of religion and religious iconography. I mean, the bottom line is that Homestuck kind of has approximately the same relationship with religion as it does with race, by which I mean it's not great. And not really a place to be looked to for proper representation of anything. Yeah. It's okay, I'm making most of it up. The only god I know is the god of rhymes. In case that wasn't clear, I'm the god of rhymes. It's me. I thought you were the god of times. Amateur mistake. The letters are right next to each other. Even then, it's not like I'm using the time stuff much anymore. Not since. And then he goes kind of quiet. So wait, this here. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Has Dave used his time powers anywhere in the epilogues in either universe? Other than like Roxy, right? Roxy goes on to say, I saw you use your time powers earlier today to make a banana less brown. Like other than small stuff about that. Just doesn't want to address it, and I wouldn't say it needs to. Homestuck ignores religion, which makes sense because it's a story about the creation of the universe. Wait, I can't tell if you're joking or not. I'm so sorry. Because, like, stories about the creation of the universe are, like, crucially fucking important to many religions. And Homestuck actually does use a lot of, like, Gnostic symbolism and, you know, certain references to Catholic symbology, like the fact that the sufferer is basically troll Jesus, for example. But yeah, oh, my phone's about to die. One moment. Where you're at. Dave, why didn't you use time powers during Jake's speech that was supposed to endorse Karkat? Oh, I fucking hate that chapter. I fucking hate everything about the way Jake was treated in all of the epilogues, and also in all of Homestuck Square, because he basically hasn't really fucking appeared very much. Actually, no, Squared has been doing okay, but the epilogues doesn't address it in a way that says, well, I guess all religions were fake because trolls, huh? Let's talk about that. Yeah, no, it doesn't really directly address religion from the perspective of, like, yeah, I mean, technically within the context of the Homestuck universe, that is kind of it, right? But yeah, I mean, like, there was also a lot of discussion about, like, representation in characters, and people were, like, up in arms about, like, how dare you say these are the only two religions when, you know, Rose is shown to be Jewish in the Snapchat. That was the application. But yeah, Homestuck is never gonna be, I don't think it's ever gonna have that conversation within any of the official works. I just think it's never gonna happen. Jake got made out to be stupid for no reason in the epilogues. Yeah, like, what the fuck, man. But yeah, it's shit on Jake Day. Note, every day is shit on Jake Day now. Yeah, there's he makes some in Discord messages from Andrew Hussey, he makes some comments about it, and I'm like, wow. Don't do that. In universe, the only comment on real religion would have been Dave and Karkat when he was like, all religions are fake, but I super forget. Not important though. Yeah, do they have that kind of conversation? Yeah. But yeah, so that was another kind of point of contention. Passing reference to Jesus when Jade is preparing for her alchemy binge. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is that it's kind of, religion in Homestuck is kind of the same as like race in Homestuck. They're two subjects that were meant to be like, he intended to approach with some sort of like a racial or a religious like standpoint with the characters, but there's still a lot of places where that like white Catholic American perspective slips into the narrative. Jesus is no longer a relevant figure on account of the annihilation of humanity. Yeah, and there's like a couple other, places where Jesus is joked about. But yeah, so that's kind of, and I don't, yeah, as much as it would be nice to, race, gender, and religion were kind of just ignored. I think it fits for a story where literally every character in the story is not born on Earth, and those that are die pretty soon. I mean, I think there are definitely ways that they could have written it, like, address those subjects in a much better way. And gender was not ignored. Gender is one of the few things that, I feel like, at least in later on, they did, like, specifically address more, because that ties in heavily with, like, the sexuality conversations as well, right? Thought that a funny comment, regardless of religious beliefs of the characters, Jade could even have been a Christian saying that line is a big oops in a funny way. Kind of blocking out Act 6, Act 6, Intermission 5 out of... yeah, and he tried to do something with the fucking trickster arc, and then it was just like, can kind of see what you were trying to do, but like it wasn't quite clear. Yeah. Caucasian, yeah, God. That was one of those things where it's like, what was the other? There was another joke that ended up being like, I don't know. There's been a few points in Homestuck, that being one of them, where multiple interpretations could be made and the authorial intent isn't clear. Because in some I've seen it interpreted as, Jake's responsive no is like making fun of white fans who get upset at non-white headcanons. But I've also seen it interpreted as making fun of people who get mad about, or people who are upset by the overwhelming bias towards white headcanons. And it's within the panel itself, you cannot, both of those interpretations make sense, and you can't discern what the actual intent was. And he never really, like, when he changed it, he was just like, people are using this to actually be racist, so I'm gonna get rid of this, which was the right thing to do. But yeah, then there's been a couple other jokes like that where it's like, this could be interpreted in multiple ways, authorial intent is not clear, all of these interpretations make sense, what the fuck is going on? Oh, that's not the trickster arc? Yeah, I don't really have, like, the specific numbers mapped out in my head. Intermission 5 is... what the fuck is Intermission 5? Oh, talking on the lily pad. Right, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, that was because we were talking about gender and stuff. Gender and sexuality. Yeah. Intent is hard to guess, but Huzzy remarked on it seemed to imply it was to make fun of fans being jerks about it. Yeah, like his reply, like, definitely implied, of course, that was not, that, like, his intent wasn't to be harmful, but, like, the result was still not fantastic. Anyway. We're veering, like, in the complete opposite direction of finishing this chapter. Dang, it's already 20 after 12. Am I even gonna have time to read the fucking Discord messages? Because that one's gonna be another set of really long discussions, and I don't know if I can sit here for 4 fucking hours today. Okay. Right, Dave's time powers. Okay. This was supposed to be a short chapter. I know. Because they're always, these squared chapters always come up short. So that's what I prepared for. But now it's like, oh my god, are we going to be here for, how fucking long are we going to be here? So much batting and so much table. Yeah, there's a lot of different offshoots and conversations that can come from this. I blame chat. I mean, that is usually... Chit-chatting is usually the reason things run long. But that's also, like... That is kind of the purpose of this space, is to have those conversations. So, like... It's cool. It's cool. Okay. I saw you use your time powers earlier today to make a banana less brown. I have explained this over and over. You need to eat the banana before it goes bad. It's not bad, just ripe. This is fucking outrageous. Maybe if you stopped slicing fruit with your sword all the time, you might understand the subtle intricacies of fruit science. Is fruit science just going apeshit on a practically moldy banana? LMAO. Don't LMAO me. Lol. Like I got time to be lectured by someone who says lol. Barbaric. I come from a more civilized era. I drink my scotch as I sit before the mantel, having just returned from the hunt, a fire in the hearth dwindling down just so. Ah yes, Roxy, old bean, jolly good. I hold my pinky out as I take a sip from my chalice because I'm not a fucking animal. You make some sort of unbelievable jest, and I say LOL like a real person. Okay, Jake English. This is the most heinous thing you've ever said to me. I mean, like, that whole tangent did have very Jake English vibes. Oh, Jade is exiting. There's something I gotta ask. About you-know-who. Voldemort. No! Is it Voldemort? It's not Voldemort. You haven't mentioned wizards once in this conversation, so I'm gonna have to assume it's Voldemort. It's about... Dirk. Okay, shoot. Oh, that bread is a fruit and he meant banana. Yes, his reference to the banana. This panel, look at his hand. Yeah. I mean, Jade also has orb hands. I think that's just this particular style, and that's, it suits the minimalism of Homestuck. What do we do? What do you mean? When we catch up. What are we gonna do? Maybe. This whole thing is kind of bullshit, and we are adults capable of being the people we need to be at the time it is appropriate to be that person. Just basic shapes, yeah. Yeah, I agree. We don't really need to pick apart every panel for the same kind of stuff. What do you mean? Okay, so there's this flower. Oh, gee, not you too with the flower. I've heard this story like 5 times. Oh, okay. But you get it, right? The story is what you make it. And in that case, we are assigning this cosmic importance to things that don't need metatextual meaning. I really don't think that's the point of the story, TBH. Then what do you think it means? Yeah, so this is referring to The Little Prince again. The story that Kanaya told Dave way back. Y'all remember Kanaya? I fucking miss her. I miss really every single all of the Homestuck girls that have not been getting much screen time, like, at all. Like, I miss Kanaya so much. I miss getting more Jade conversations. I miss getting more Rose, in particular Candy Rose. I would love to see fucking Aradia, my sweet, my love. I miss her. Who? I don't think it's Kanaya. Don't know this guy. I know. Oh my god, Classic Vampire. Oh, a classic. God. That sends me back to fucking high school. Oh my god. It's a good fucking song. I mean, notably, it's been a very long time since I've listened to it, but, like, it tickles some nostalgia. It's only been, like, 2 chapters since... Since Candy Rose? I guess it's only been, like, 2 chapters since Candy, Rose, and Jade. But... it's been... so long. I think Kanaya in particular. And Kanaya and Aradia have both only been in... Oh, that's right. Kanaya was also in a later chapter once. But she didn't say much, because that was the Yiffy reveal chapter. Oh, right. Oh, my God. She was in that one fucking, like, threatening Tavros Crocker. That was good. It's a lot of time, not a lot of plot. Yeah. I've been meaning at some point to do a quick reread from the very beginning, just to keep it all fresh. I don't know if I ever will do that. But the intention is there. It's in there somewhere, and I might do it eventually. But yeah, it's a lot of time, not a lot of plot between them, basically. And this was an issue with back in original Homestuck days with update culture too, right? Like, the length of time between updates and how long it takes to tell a story serially, like, it really does affect reader perception. Reread from the beginning once it's over. Yeah, once it's over, then maybe I'll stream from the beginning. But also, like, they said this project was going to take 5 years, and I don't even want to think about fucking January right now. So, like, we're gonna slowly and calmly back away from the subject of that far in the future. Yeah. How good we had it back in 2013 to 2015. What, when the updates were, like, barely coming out at all? Yeah, because there weren't updates. Like, it was 2009 to 2012. And, like, maybe 2013. That updates were coming out fast, but, like, 2013, 2014 forward was, like, very, like, much slower. There were horse calendars. Oh, right, the fucking horse calendars. Yeah, he was doing that at one point. But yeah, there was the entire year of silence, and then there was other smaller kind of gaps before that. There was a lot more chunks of silence in a particular time frame. But yeah, dang, those early years when things were just, like, flying off the shelves. Horse. Okay. Right, The Little Prince. Where the fuck am I on this page? Alright. And in this case, maybe we are assigning this cosmic importance to things that don't need metatextual meaning. I really don't think that's the point of the story, TBH. Then what do you think it means? Bro, son, I'm saying this with the utmost respect for you. It's not that deep. It's just a story. Then what about this? Do you think Dirk's right? Are we just a story that needs a villain? Are we heroes rescuing a damsel in distress? Or are we just people doing things that feel right at the time? Yeah, maybe this is just our arc. I don't think life is just a series of arcs. Well, to be fair, our lives have just been a series of arcs, and we are basically rushing off to save a damsel. Though, don't tell her I said that, LMAO. Of course, I want everyone to sort it out, hunky-dory. But that's not what you're asking. But that's not what I'm asking. This is getting a bit granular. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fucking encyclopedia. I have memories of those times, but I am not an encyclopedia. What? Oh, thank you. Ooh, character voices. Bro, Dave isn't a circle, just a series of arcs. Yeah, so this, like, I feel like this, like, the meta, like, them talking about their lives are a series of arcs or not, but humans don't have arcs. Yeah, exactly right. Who fucking said that on the lily pad? That was Dave, right? I feel like I don't know what it is about it. That's the thing. I struggle to find the words to describe exactly what it is about this exchange that, like, feels kind of off to me, but it feels like, as a, like, meta-textual commentary, it could have been a little more polished. Like, it seems kind of on the nose, I guess. But yeah, then they kind of exit that, and she's like, but that's not what you're asking. But that's not what I'm asking. What I want to know is, do you think you can kill him if it comes to it? What the fuck was that? Describe this exchange as a Twitter conversation talking about Homestuck too. Yeah, a lot of parts of this update were kind of picked up by fandom as, like, attempting to be some sort of meta commentary on the state of fandom at the moment, but, like, I don't know, I just feel like it could have been a lot more polished. What are the odds that Roxy's question isn't addressed for months and months and months? Well, I mean, now that we're back to one update per month, the update pacing is going to turn back a little bit, but I feel like if read all in a row, the pacing is probably fine. Like, just in the comic and in Homestuck 2 in general. But yeah, this is another thing that connects to the theory that meat is, you know, becoming all candy and candy is being all meat. Because Roxy here he's finally getting to some real meaty shit. Like, can you kill him? Like, that juicy action shit. And it's immediately cut off by the most confusing fucking bullshit. He probably found one of Callie's little gifts. Been seeing a lot more of them lately, which debunks his leading theory that they've been living in the vents. What? I can't believe he never told you. It's all he talks about. I told him it was kind of nuts, but you know how you can get. Well, I think since Jade's regular now, Callie's felt more comfortable being up and around. Before they were just in the room nesting, snug as a bug in a rug. Nesting? Yeah, like a bug in a rug. What is there not to get, LMAO? Well, they keep leaving Karkat little piles of meat. Like a cat. Damn, that's adorbs. In his shoes, at the foot of his bed. He's convinced it's to dunk on him in some way, but that's just Karkat being Karkat. But in the vents, though. Yeah, I don't know, man. He's obsessed with it. For once in his life, he doesn't want to talk about it. Guess we'll never know. I have continued reading and have already forgotten what you're referring to as potentially the writers just forgetting. You really like that Roxy panel, actually? Yeah, it is nice. It's a nice little Roxy. Oh, Meaty's getting more candy because they're ignoring big important questions. But candy is... No, that's the point, is that that's a candy thing, right? And now Meat is doing this candy thing. That's exactly what I was getting at. Maybe everything is becoming more candy? I mean... Well, because the argument is that candy in Homestuck Squared is, what's it called? I'm super losing my train of thought. Right, candy in Homestuck Squared has been very action heavy and very, you know, so that is like they're focusing more on action scenes like Vriska being on the front lawn and kicking the ass of all those reporters, and then them having to run off, John's house being bombed, those sorts of things. So that is what I mean, and it's no reason here to be an ass about the creative team. Yeah, so like I think at this point I'm gonna say that is me clarifying my point, and I'm just gonna like put that aside and like kind of close the book on that one. Because we have some weirder shit to talk about. Like, what the fuck is this supposed to be? MSPA reader, no immediately. So this appears to be a recruit raccoon with meat in it. I actually I very much appreciate Carcat's face in this panel. But yeah, I'm confused by what exactly is supposed to be going on here. If I would be in agreement on something, then it's time to be scared. Yeah, it's... Oh, I just realized they put an exclamation mark next to the autosave. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But yeah, I guess just to kind of close the book on that whole conversation, it's just, this is the space where we make good faith interpretations and we try to, you know, be a little kinder to the folks who work on this stuff. So that's how I'm feeling about that. I don't know what Calliope's doing here. So I've seen... Okay, so one interpretation that I kind of feel like is possible, but I still just am not, like, generally a fan of whatever's happening here, is that she is, they are, they're, like, because they were, like, technically kind of sort of raised by Gamzee, who used to do stuff like that for them, this is their way of, like, they're trying to become friends with Karkat by using the only social model that they have. But that doesn't entirely check out because they'd been living on Earthsea among human and troll and Carpathian and consort society for so many years that they, like, there's ample time for them to kind of unlearn that, I guess. Yes, they are looking, those eyes. Maybe they just smell the meats. Yeah, it's the idea that they're like leaving little presents for Karkat, like little piles of meat everywhere. It's just got me baffled. Like, I'm trying so hard to figure out what the fuck this is supposed to mean, but I'm really reaching. Like, that Gamzee interpretation is kind of the closest thing I've heard to kind of making some sense. But yeah, just generally speaking, I am a little, I'm like a little nervous about where they're taking this one. Scuttling around in vents, doting on Karkat. Clearly Calliope is possessed by Nepeta. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that's right. Dave is like, that's the other thing that I'm confused about, is that Dave in the previous, and at the tail end of that conversation is like, I don't know why he's so obsessed with this. Haha, he won't talk to me about it, whatever. But like, Dave was on the meteor with Karkat. So how is he not, like, how is it not clicking for him that this is obviously in reference to Gamzee? So that is why this has me yeah, kind of unsure as to what the actual direction they're taking this is. I'm just really confused. I'm really confused. Do any of y'all have any other ideas of what the fuck is happening here? I'm confused. I'm sure we'll find out eventually, but for now. For now, this is where we are, and that is the end of the chapter, and oh my god, it's 12:40. Oops. God, those Discord messages from Andrew Hussey are just gonna be, they're gonna take some time to read. I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. I got time tonight. Let's fucking, if y'all are down to stay around for that, let's fucking go for it. So I'm gonna keep playing our music here. We're gonna take a short break. I need to rest my voice because I should have taken the fucking break at midnight when I usually do. But yeah, I'm gonna take 5, and then when we come back, we're gonna hop into Discord messages from Andrew Hussey. If you are watching this back on YouTube, the Discord messages from Andrew Hussey are a separate video you can find on my channel. And